Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. Today is Wednesday, December the 15th, 2010, and we've got another market alert for you. Check it out. Okay, the Hang Seng Index, this is the particular chart we're looking at here. You'll notice you've got this uptrend line here, broke down here, all right, had the higher highs and higher lows at that point, so it was nothing to concern you with. It could just be consolidation, which bounced around for a while, bounced up here, and then started forming the secondary trend line right here, okay? And then she pierced it, and then she started moving to the upside. Okay, so we told you could take a position here with a tight stop just below this trend line, and if you get stopped out, then there could be a problem, but otherwise it would still be in a bullish uptrend. Well, that has just happened. It's turned right back around, closed below this trend line, and here's what's developing here. You've got this high point, pulls back down to this low point, bounces up here, fails to make a new high, pulls back down here, all right, bounces around and now is going lower. What happens if price activity falls below 22.8, this low point right here? Well, then you're going to have a high point, lower high, lower low. No, this low point and a lower low point. So it's important to note that this could be developing into a downtrend right here from these high points. We'll draw the line on there if we get a lower low. And we do expect to see that because of the candlestick formation of today's activity. Let me show you that. Okay, you can see that this particular candlestick formation is a very bearish continuation candlestick to the downside, so we don't expect this to be the bottom or something like that. So we do expect price activity to continue to press lower, and it's quite likely being as close as we are already to the 22.8 level that it's going to break down and end up forming a downtrend right there. So then we'd have to draw the trend line from this point to this point, like so. All right. So we have a downtrend developing here in the Hang Seng Index. I probably draw it like that. Anyway, and that's something to note. You also are going to find weakness in some other indexes. Check this out. Okay, markets here in the U.S. started off the day moving to the upside, but couldn't hold it and ended up rolling over, and that forms that shooting star formation right there. That hammer-looking candlestick that's upside down. If you don't know what that is, you can go to our free website at perfectstockalert.com. There's a little video there designed to teach you about that. There's also a video showing you how to trade those. You can check that out on our free website. And the main thing to point out here is you've seen lots of shooting star formations before, and it's not necessarily the exact top. So there's no way to look at this one candlestick and say, okay, now this is the exact peak and blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. You also notice the sell volume activity here was actually relatively low. It wasn't even at the average line. So there's no major signal here that's all by itself concerning, but you can say that you are finding problems at this level. You're finding resistance here. And you also notice if we look at this high point at 25 and then this one here at 26, you can see that you're trending higher. Yet, when you look at the confirmation indicators below, you can clearly see the RSI indicator is trending down. This tells you momentum is fading in this move to the upside. This is dangerous. So you start looking at this as being a warning sign that in fact price activity has just gone further than it can support. And so a pullback would make sense there, okay? One more item to note before we go on and look at the rest of the U.S. markets. We also had an MPT rating of 03. On our website, if you go there, we give a number for every day, basically a projection for what we expect the following market to do. And our indicator is coming out telling us that the market's going to sell off tomorrow. So that's important. It's more confirmation that we are actually topping, rolling over, getting ready for a pullback, that kind of thing. You are, in fact, still in an uptrend. You're not going to argue that. You've still got your higher lows, trending higher, price is still trending higher. So at this point, to jump on the short bandwagon would be somewhat risky, and you would want to keep a very tight stop on that kind of an argument. But I think that it's safe to say you should definitely be going to cash if you're not confident on your long trade. Okay, this entire week, Monday through today, we actually have not issued an alert on our website for any individual equity or ETF, simply because we don't see any quality long opportunities out there to issue. So we just recommend going to cash and have been doing that all week long. And with this may be actually pulling back, give us a better opportunity later or to start up something bigger. All right. Okay, quick look here at the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index. You got another one of those shooting star formations, but this one is still really strong. Even the RSI confirms this series of higher highs here and here, and it's also confirmed by the slow stotch. So there's really no bearish divergence here to note, like we already showed you on the NASDAQ. So it's not confirmed here, and that's something to note. Again, I'm not going to go out there and start shorting this. I'm going to wait. But I would be in cash at this point, waiting for a better bullish opportunity when price activity pulls back down to a nice support line, some area that you can use for a buy-in opportunity. You will have a support line at this level right here because price activity has broken through. It's going to give it a little support meeting at this upper trend line right here. It's going to add to that support. You've also got the middle Bollinger Band line here as well. So these are a lot of items that are going to be providing support to this market. And any pullback may be short-lived, but you could still see it, okay? Okay, a quick look here at the BSE India Bombay Stock Exchange. If you are looking at trading over there, you can be watching this chart on our website at perfectstockalert.com. Thus far, she's respecting this downtrend line that we've got developing here. She's bouncing around here, but she's going nowhere near breaking through this trend line. So as long as that remains in effect, we expect price activity to continue moving sideways or end up breaking, one way or the other. We're not going to guess which way it's going to go. We're just going to sit there and watch it by those trend lines, okay? Very easy. This is neither a bullish or a bearish call at this point, but she is still respecting that downtrend. Commodities have been getting beaten lately. They just don't have the strength they've had in the past. May have just gone too far too fast. Main thing to point out here is a high point here, higher high here. This is not confirmed by the RSI or the MACD. Let's have a look at that. You can see the high points of the RSI here and here. All right, it's showing a downtrend while price activity just went too far too fast, got ahead of itself. Same thing being confirmed right here. All right, so that's important to note as well. A quick look here at gold. You can look at silver as well. They're both the charts are both stored on our free website at perfectstockalert.com. You can always track them there. They're updated every single day. The main thing here is that the close to this particular candlestick formation does not encourage me that this is the end of the selling. I would expect, keep a sharp eye on this, I do expect this trend line to break down here. Thus far, she's just still been making higher highs and higher lows, so there's nothing, anything major here than basic correction pullback. So just keep an eye on it. But if you're bullish, you'd be stopped out as soon as she broke below that trend line right there. So that's important to note. Okay, looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, she closed down 19 points for the day. Did form a shooting star or inverted hammer, depending on how you want to call it. But the main thing about these, whenever you get these signals and they're after a breakout, for example, here was a high point. Okay, price activity broke out and then gave you a shooting star formation. They're not as troubling or not as bearish a signal simply because you're going to have support. This was acting as resistance. Now it's going to be acting as support. So when the sell-off is very weak there, and you can keep fighting to the upside. So that's important to note. Here you've got another one, but you didn't have far to fall before you get back to that main support here. So what I'm trying to draw out here is that when you rally up here and you break out of a new high, which you had 11,451, you did make a new high. So now that previous resistance is going to act as support right there. So it's not as troubling a sign to see a shooting star formation right there after a breakout formation. Okay, so keep that in mind. At this time, this entire chart continues to be higher highs and higher lows. You got to respect the trend short term, and that means you will not be shorting this guy at this point. You can't do that, but you can step aside into cash or use tight stops on your long positions. Just protect yourself. That's the main key here, is be protected. If you've not been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. The disclaimer, read it and weep. God bless, take care, and I will see you in the next video.